Tonight, the wind moves softly through the trees, carrying the scent of rain and pine deep into the sleeping mountains. Far above the world below, hidden between endless forests and silver fog, there is a small wooden cabin standing quietly beside a frozen lake. No roads lead there anymore. No maps remember it. And yet, on certain nights, when the world feels unbearably heavy, someone always finds their way to it. So before this story begins, allow yourself to rest for a little while. Settle comfortably beneath your blankets. Relax your shoulders. Let your breathing slow gently with the quiet rhythm of the night. If you have headphones nearby, put them on and listen closely to the wind, the distant water, and the soft silence surrounding these mountains. And when you're ready, close your eyes for just a moment and imagine snow falling slowly outside a lonely cabin window.
The traveler followed him outside. Cold air instantly wrapped around them again, sharp but strangely refreshing. The snow had stopped completely now. Above the mountains, the night sky stretched wider than anything the traveler had ever seen before. There were no city lights here, no noise, only stars. Thousands upon thousands of them reflected across the frozen lake like shattered mirrors of light. The traveler stopped breathing for a moment. It felt unreal. The old man stepped carefully across the snow-covered shoreline. "When I was young," he said quietly, "I believed the stars were holes in the sky." The traveler smiled faintly. Holes? So lonely people could send their wishes somewhere beyond this world. The wind moved softly around them. Far away, somewhere deep within the forest, an owl called gently into the darkness. The old man pointed toward the center of the frozen lake. At first, the traveler saw nothing unusual, but then, beneath the ice, soft blue light shimmered slowly below the surface. Tiny glowing shapes drifted silently beneath the frozen water like floating stars trapped under glass. The traveler stared in amazement. "What are they?" The old man smiled. "Memories." For a second, the traveler almost laughed, but somehow the mountains made impossible things feel natural. "Long ago," the old man continued, "people came to this lake when they carried memories too painful to keep. The glowing lights beneath the ice moved slowly together like silent spirits. They leave a piece of their sadness here," he whispered. The traveler watched the lights drift beneath the frozen surface. Some glowed brightly, others faded gently into darkness. "Does it work?" they asked softly. The old man looked toward the stars above. "No." The traveler blinked. The old man chuckled quietly. "Pain never truly disappears." His breath curled softly through the cold air. "But sometimes sharing its weight makes it easier to carry." The traveler lowered their gaze. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then, slowly, the traveler sat beside the frozen lake. The snow beneath them felt soft and cold beneath thick blankets of winter frost. "I used to think I had more time," they admitted quietly. The old man remained silent beside them. "I kept waiting for life to finally slow down." The traveler's voice trembled faintly. But somehow, every year only became louder. The mountains listened quietly. The traveler stared at their own reflection beneath the ice. "I forgot what it felt like to be happy." The old man's expression softened gently. That happens to many people below the mountains. Wind drifted across the frozen lake again. The glowing lights beneath the ice shimmered softly beneath them like sleeping constellations. "When was the last time you rested?" the old man asked. The traveler opened their mouth, then stopped, because they genuinely couldn't remember, and somehow that realization hurt more than expected. The old man stood slowly. "Come," he whispered kindly. "There's still time before sunrise." Back inside the cabin, the fire burned warmer now. The old man placed another kettle over the flames while the traveler sat quietly beside the telescope near the window. Outside, snow clouds slowly parted across the mountains. The sky had begun shifting from black to deep. The traveler continued staring at the stars. Somehow, for the first time in years, their chest no longer felt so tight. The cabin grew quieter as the night slowly faded. The old man eventually closed his eyes beside the fire, listening to the wind outside with peaceful stillness. And without realizing it, the traveler finally fell asleep. Not from exhaustion, not from sadness, but from comfort. For the first time in a very long while, their mind became quiet. Hours later, pale morning light slowly entered through the cabin windows. The traveler opened their eyes gently. The fire had almost gone out. Soft golden sunlight now touched the snowy mountains beyond the lake outside. But the old man was gone. The traveler stood quickly. The cabin was empty. No footsteps. No sound. Only silence. Then, near the fireplace, they noticed something resting quietly on the wooden floor. A small glass jar glowing faintly blue. Inside it floated a single tiny light. Warm. Peaceful. Like a sleeping star. Beside it rested a folded piece of paper. The traveler opened it carefully. And written in soft, uneven handwriting were only a few simple words. For the nights when the world becomes heavy again. The traveler stepped outside the cabin one final time. Morning sunlight now covered the mountains in pale gold. The frozen lake sparkled beneath the endless sky. And for the first time in years, the traveler took a deep breath without feeling tired. Far below the mountains, the world would still be loud. Life would still move too quickly. There would still be difficult days. But somehow, the weight inside their heart no longer felt impossible to carry. The traveler placed the glowing jar carefully inside their coat pocket. Then, slowly, they began walking back down the snowy mountain trail beneath the endless morning